it's important for these animals to contribute to their species. This one will never breed. She's contributing to her species by helping you care about her species. That's what we're here to do at the Wildlife Center of Virginia. We care for the injured ones. This year, I think yesterday, we took in our 23rd bald eagle of the year. And we'll probably break 40 before the year's over. And when we learn about problems, we, again, work very closely with the state agency. In fact, the state wildlife veterinarian, Dr. Jonathan Sleeman, who works here in Richmond, used to be a staff member, used to be the director of the veterinary department at the Wildlife Center of Virginia. And when we have disease issues, we work very closely with him, with his colleagues, with the management staff of the agency, with our colleagues all over the country, and if need be, all over the world. Because we are about teaching the world to care about and care for wildlife and the environment. Now, before I put her away, because my arm is just about gone, and I'll answer it before somebody asks it. How much does she weigh? Well, she weighed 14 pounds when she came out of the box, but she weighs about a ton right now. So I'm going to get her put away. But before I do, does anybody have any questions about her specifically? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Is she of size? I mean, or is she going to become bigger?
No, no. When actually, about the time they leave the nest is about 3 months old, and then they stay with their parents for about another 3 months. So when they're about 4 months old, that's about as big as they ever get in their lifetime because they've got all that baby fat. And then when they have to go work for a living, a lot of that gets worked off. So they grow very quickly after they hatch because they've got to reach full size in about 90 to 120 days. So she's not going to get any bigger. But trust me, there aren't many out there any bigger than this anyway. She's a great big bird. Yes, ma'am.
And you talked about captivity. I mean, what kind of space does she have?
Well, actually, her space is not quite as large as the habitat over here. It's about 12 by 16, and it is a large open aviary. She lives outside all the time, summer and winter. Yes?
You said she won't breed. Why can't you artificially inseminate her?
Well, there's no reason to. I mean, because honestly, we don't want to put her through. Breeding is not an easy thing for wild animals, or for people for that matter. But there is no need for more eagle chicks. We've got lots of eagle chicks being hatched. What we need is eagle habitat.
Okay, thank you.
And so that it's a good question. Yeah.
In terms of habitat, like how much space would a bird like that need in the wild?
Well, it depends on food supply, how much habitat they need. The habitat they need is typically around the nest. I think, Lee, do you know in Virginia what our radius is? About a mile, would you say, between nests, something like that? And in some areas where habitat is not so food rich, then sometimes it's 3 miles between nest sites. But along the James River, where we've got most of the eagles in Virginia, the habitat is wonderful. Food supply is abundant. Okay, I'll tell you, let me answer any eagle-specific questions, and then I'm going to put her away, and then we can continue talking. Yes, ma'am.
What's her flying speed?
Her flying speed? Bald eagle stooping on prey would probably be maybe 60 miles an hour. They don't need to be fast because they're not peregrines. So they're kind of pokey. They don't need to be fast. Yeah.
What does their call sound like? Because I heard like on movies that we watch, they use like a falcon or a hawk or whatever.
They use a lot of red-shouldered hawks. That kind of screeching call. That's not an eagle. Eagles cluck. So yeah, they kind of. That wouldn't be a very inspiring thing. That scream is either a red-tail or more typically a red-shouldered hawk. All right, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to step out here into the sun, so those of you who want to get pictures can, and then I'm going to step out, and at the count of 3, I'll get her to put her wings up for you, okay? We're going to step back out into the sun, so if anybody wants to get a picture, you can. And if you all are up in the back row and want to get a closer picture, you can come on down, just move slowly, don't run. And, I mean, well, you don't need to move. You don't need to creep, just don't. So, and then when everybody gets their still pictures, we'll get her to put her wings up. Anybody see that thing on the internet about that guy out in Washington that had cancer and the eagle put his wings around him and that sort of thing? Anybody see that going around?
Yes.
Well, let me encourage you to take anything that sounds too fantastic to be true as being untrue. The guy talked about how the bird embraced him. I'll show you how that happens here in just a second. This bird will embrace me too if I tip her off my hand, and she's going to think she's going to fall over, which is exactly what that guy did. But I'm not interested in becoming an internet star. Okay, everybody got your still pictures? All right, on the count of 3, actually we are internet stars. The last eagle we released, go to YouTube and search Wildlife Center, Virginia, and you'll see videos of the eagle that was released recently. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, we'll roll it again. Get the arm back around here. Ooh, boy, she's getting heavy. Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right. Right now, everybody sit tight for just a second. We'll get her put away.